Hello. Um, Smile is I can't really say much about it because I don't want to spoil it. Because part of the enjoyment was seeing things that you weren't necessarily expecting. Jump scares that were done different. It's hard to explain. A jump scare is a jump scare. At least you would imagine by now. We've seen everything. But there's some really good twists the on the whole jump scare thing, which jump scares are old. I've never been a fan of jump scares. I think the last effective jump scare for me was in Alien when Jones the cat jumps out of the well, I don't know what it was. It looked like a locker, but he jumps out of the locker door, and we all go, "Ooh!" Um, that's it. That's the last effective 1979, and some films are so reliant on them, and which I don't get because to me it's not a scare. It's not scary when something jumps out. If it makes you jump, but not because it's scary, because the natural thing of if something jumps up in front of you, you take a step back. You go, oh, well, it's not a scare. It's not like seeing something out of the corner of your eye that seems to be creeping closer towards you, and yet you don't know what it is and you can't make its features out. That's scary. Um, the scene in Silence of the Lambs where you have Clarice in the pitch dark in the cellar at the end, just holding her hand out, and he's right there with his night vision goggles, just reaching his hand out to touch her hair, and that is scary as much as it is creepy. And that's the kind of vibe you get from Smile, along with some really nice different kinds of jump scares. And I expect that there will be many films in the future that will use the same sorts of camera trickery and fake outs to give us the same kind of jump scares. But I remember that Smile was the first time I saw some of them, some of the tricks. The film is about a doctor who, psychiatric doctor at an acute psychiatric hospital, which deals with emergency cases. And she she's married to the job basically, even though she does have a partner. And what she does is she never goes home, she never sleeps, she just works all the time because she feels that she has to give of herself because of something that happened in her past. So one of these emergency cases comes in and kills herself in front of her. And after that, her entire life unravels. And that's as much as I'm going to say. And about the story. The performance of the lead actress, Anna, unprepared as ever. Where is it? Where's my page? Films. Smile. Sosie Bacon. Now, I have no idea if Sosie Bacon is a relative of Kevin Bacon or not. She is such an when it. I don't want to sound awful here, but when it started, I thought, oh, she's not great. But what she's doing is she's showing that she's quite jaded in a way. Um, she's quite jaded in her job. She comes out with the same pat responses. Um, and yeah, there you go. She's Kevin Bacon's daughter. So she comes from acting stock. It shows she's very good. But you don't think she is when she starts off. But she goes from this cold, clinical, science based person to an absolute wreck. And it's completely understandable. I mean, she goes from being a non believer to being a believer instantly. And the change that causes in her, it's like a domino effect on everything else in her life. And she does it really, really well. Really well. Um, the film, if the film has to be about something, it is about trauma and how trauma impacts on the people around it. So an incident happens, and it affects everybody in that place in around that incident. And not only does it affect the person who is directly impacted by the trauma, so is actually staring at somebody committing suicide, but it also affects their family and their friends and their relatives. So that's what it's about, if it has to be about anything. Um, I want to say it's unpredictable, but in one scene at the very least, it is predictable, and I think it's deliberate. I don't know if it's just me because I've seen so many of these sorts of films. I've been watching horror well, since I could nag my parents to let me watch horror films. So, very small. One of my first horror films was The Wicker Man, and I think I was 10 or 11. So, one of my first. The Wolfman, I think, might have been my first ever horror film. Um, on my nana's black and white telly in her front room. Anyway, so I've seen a lot of horror films, and sometimes you're never sure if you are finding a story. I was going to say political. That's not what I wanted to say. Predictable. You might be finding it predictable because you've seen so many things, and there's a kind of almost a formula to some of them. But this one I think may have been deliberate because you're watching it and you're watching this scene play out, and you're going, "Oh my god! Oh no! No! Oh no! No! Oh no! No! It's gonna be! Is it? It's gonna! Oh yeah! Oh god! It is! Oh god!" It's brilliant. It's that anticipation, and it doesn't come with any music in the background like none of that. It's silent apart from people talking and their music playing, and it's perfectly happy and nice environment. And it's and this is happening, and it's the people are excited, and then boom, um, not so much anymore. And it's fantastically done, and Sosie Bacon has an over the top moment. She really does chew the scenery a bit, but it's well done. It's well managed, and it it really it kind of makes you go, oh, um, in a jump scary kind of way, but it's not a jump scare. And that's what I mean. You get that, whoa, those jolts, but they're not traditional um, Jack in the Box jolts. They're different. But it's a great scene. I think it's the standout scene, just because you're going, and it's not that anything horrible's going to happen, and you're like, oh god, something horrible, someone's head's going to explode. It's like, oh god, what's going to happen when, and what's she going to think, and what's everybody going to say, and what's said, and then it's just terrific. The payoff is great, and it's an impacts on the rest of the film, and it's really really good, and it's creepy as hell. I mean, you can see from the poster artwork, it is creepy. It's creepy as fuck. Um, I nearly said creepy AF, but I'm not down with the kids, so this one's great, and I thought Barbarian was going to be my favorite horror of the year, but this pips it. This really pips it. I would say my top three this year have been Smile at the top, Barbarian second, and the new Hellraiser third. Bizarrely, I never thought I would say that, but yeah, the Hellraiser remake third. Um, Smile by a long way takes the lead, unless something else comes up in the next couple of months to blow it out the water. But I can't see it. It's so good. So watch it if you want. Don't if you don't want. But my opinion is watch it. I would recommend it heartily. I recommended it to my parents, but with a warning to my mother because she has heart condition. And just be careful, mother. Watch it, but be careful. Um, Not many films scare me, but this creeped me out and scared me a little bit. I think the Ringu, the Japanese version, was the last film where I went to bed and I was actually looking behind me on the stairs as I went up the stairs. Films don't do that to me. This, if I had stairs in the bungalow, would have the same impact. Really good, really good. Anyway, that's all from me and from Aero, who is asleep with his eyes open as usual. And we'll see you whenever there is something worth talking about.